My name is Olivier. I am the Vice Chair of the National Pharmacy Association. You'll be pleased to hear that you're not going to hear too much about me tonight. It's Gary, Lauren, and hopefully Simon that will lead the conversations. So a quick round of introduction, if I may. We have Gary and Lauren. Both of them have worked with the NPA for some times. Gary has been working on developing this NPA Connect project for the best part of the last 12 months. He's committed to supporting independent pharmacists. And I must say, I had a quick demonstration of the product only 24 hours ago to have a feel of what that looks like. And it looks absolutely fantastic. So I look forward to hearing from that. Lauren has worked for Precisions for 8 years. She's a senior account manager at the NPA. And she's the perfect person to have with you along this journey, especially as we go through this period of change. Simon is director for the membership at the NPA. He's also been working with Gary on developing this project. So I'm super excited. As I said, we have a Q&A. You should see that at the bottom of your screen. Just open that. If you want to pop a question, please do. We will not take questions as we go along. We'll go all the way to the end of the presentation. And then at the end, we hopefully have a bit of time for questions. We're also joined by Jared. Yes, so without further ado, Gary, Lauren, over to you.
Thank you very much, Olivier. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us at 7:30 after a very long day. So we will try and keep this as tight as possible. So welcome to tonight's webinar on NPA Connects. As you said, we've been working on this now for just over a year. I'm Gary from Precision, and I'm one of the co-creators of NPA Connects, and I'm joined by my colleague, Lauren.
Hi everyone, thanks for joining us today. We're really excited to introduce you to NPA Connects, which is a platform designed to provide NPA members with ready-to-use marketing assets and campaigns to support your pharmacy business. So just to go through today's agenda so you know what to expect, we'll start with a short explanation of NPA Connects, how it came about, followed by a demonstration of the platform, walking you through its features and how it can help your pharmacy. After that, Simon Tebbett, Director of Membership at the NPA, will share his insights on how NPA Connect supports pharmacies and ensures compliance with marketing materials. Following that, Gary will discuss how NPA Connects will help independent local community pharmacies gain access to large brand campaigns. Then we'll open up the floor for a live Q&A session where we'll answer any questions you may have, including any pre-submitted ones that we've got. And then finally, we'll wrap up with next steps and ensuring that you've got all information that you need to start using NPA Connects as effectively as possible.
So thank you. So what is NPA Connects? NPA Connects is a purpose-built platform designed to give independent NPA members NPA member community pharmacies easy access to high quality, compliant and ready to use marketing materials. Developed by the National Pharmacy Association and Precision, the platform was created to bridge the gap between pharmacy expertise and effective marketing strategies, helping pharmacies engage with their local communities more efficiently. And marketing can be time-consuming, it can be expensive and complex, especially for independent pharmacies that don't have in-house marketing teams. That's where NPA Connects comes in. Through this platform, NPA members can access a library of professionally designed marketing campaigns, social media assets, in-store posters, and digital advertising materials, all created with pharmacy-specific messaging and compliance in mind. Precision has played a crucial role in developing these resources, leveraging our expertise in data-driven targeted marketing to ensure pharmacies can connect with customers in a meaningful way. Our team has worked closely with the NPA to craft marketing solutions that are not only visually engaging, but also strategically aligned with the needs of local pharmacies. By making high-quality marketing more accessible and affordable, NPA Connects allows pharmacists to focus on what they do best, caring for their communities, while ensuring their services and expertise are effectively communicated to their local customers.
So, how did NPA Connects come about? The idea for NPA Connects came from a simple but pressing need. Independent community pharmacies play a vital role in healthcare, yet many struggle to promote their services effectively. The NPA recognised this gap and, in partnership with Precision, developed a platform that provides pharmacies with the marketing tools they need to thrive in an increasingly competitive landscape. Community pharmacies are essential healthcare providers, but you may often lack the time, budget, or expertise to create professional marketing campaigns. Traditionally, marketing for pharmacies has either been generic or expensive to produce on an individual basis. NPA Connect solves this by giving members access to a growing library of professionally designed and customizable marketing materials that can be used across multiple channels, including social media, in-store displays, email campaigns, and direct mail. With Precision's expertise in data-driven marketing, NPA Connects ensures that pharmacy campaigns are not just visually appealing, but also strategically sound, helping pharmacists reach the right audiences with the right messages. Compliance is also a key factor. Every piece of content available on the platform has been reviewed to ensure it meets industry standards, so you can market your products and services with confidence. Ultimately, NPA Connects is designed to put independent pharmacies on a level playing field with larger chains, giving you the tools to attract new customers, retain existing ones, and showcase your essential role as the healthcare hub of the community. It's a platform built specifically for NPA members, providing real, tangible support in an area that is often overlooked, but critically important for long-term success.
Thank you, Laura. You can breathe now. So I think you need to have a look at what we're talking about. So we're going to quickly take you across to the demonstration, which will be with you in a few seconds.
This is the main homepage of NPA Connects and is the place to begin when deciding on which health campaign or product type you wish to create. Whether it's a targeted direct mail piece or a batch of flyers, you're sure to find something to promote for the benefit of your local community. From time to time, you'll also be able to read insights, thoughts and opinions within the blog menu link, while we've also included a handy help and FAQs section containing video walkthrough guides to getting started and the answers to general questions you may have. Before you start exploring, however, let's get you registered as a user on NPA Connects. If you haven't got an account on NPA Connects already, creating a new one is very straightforward. At the top of the screen, click the Register link. This brings up a pop-up window revealing a three-part process. Firstly, enter your own name, email address, and desired password. Next, add your pharmacy name, a slogan if you have one, followed by an address, telephone number, and website. You may also wish to upload a company logo and add your NPA membership number. Finally, you just need to agree to the terms and conditions, and optionally sign up for news via email, and then you're all set to go. A confirmation of your created account will be sent to your registered email address. Once you have signed into your account, you'll be able to click on your profile and perform other actions, such as separating your billing and delivery addresses. You'll also be able to view any saved orders, data lists, and documents. But right now we don't have any of those, so let's change that. Now that you've got your account set up, it's time to think about the type of product you wish to order for your campaign. Each product is categorised within the marketing material menu on NPA Connects. So, for example, if you'd like to create a flyer, click the Flyers link. Alternatively, you can search for a product type by name in the search bar. Once you have located your product, you can choose how you'd like it to be delivered and adjust the quantities to suit your budget. A variety of editable fields will also be available, and many of these will have been pulled from your account's information, such as pharmacy name, address and website. You'll be able to generate a preview of the document based on what information is in these fields and get a better idea of what your final product will look like. Once you are happy with the final content of the product, you can add it to your shopping basket. We'll cover the purchasing process a little later, but for now, let's look at direct mail products. So, what is direct mail? In a nutshell, direct mail is marketing sent directly to a specific household that might fall under your campaign prerequisites. This could be, for example, a postcard or a letter, targeting a specific audience for your needs. For instance, you may wish to run a flu vaccination campaign for the local community, but you might only want to target the older generation who may be more susceptible to catching flu, or those with underlying health conditions. But how would you go about doing this? The answer lies within NPA Connects and our bank of over 27 million UK addresses. To send off a direct mail product, you'll need to create a data list containing addresses. This can be done on the mapping page, accessed by clicking the Create Data List button within a direct mail product. From here, you can either manually draw in a zone or type in a postcode to create an initial delivery area. This can then be whittled down further by distance or selecting filters appropriate to your campaign. Going back to your flu vaccination campaign as a reference point, you may wish to set filters to reflect on employment status, age, and household count. The more filters you add, the more targeted your direct mail campaign becomes, and the easier it is to follow up with subsequent mailings to the same addresses. Now that you have created a data list, this can then be applied to your customizable direct mail product and ready to add to your shopping basket. With your product in the shopping basket, you're a step closer to completing your order. You'll be able to download a PDF proof of any print product for your review and be required to approve the design before continuing to the checkout stage. Once there, you'll be required to enter in your preferred payment method, such as credit or debit card details, and view the final payment, including VAT. If your account contains any store credit, this can be applied to reduce the final billing cost. Once you are happy with your order, simply click the Apply button to complete. A confirmation of your order will appear in your emails for your records. So that's NPA Connects in a broad nutshell. Over the course of time, many new exciting products and campaigns will be added to the site, so do keep an eye out for those.
And that wraps up our walkthrough of NPA Connects. We hope that gave you a clear insight into how the platform works the types of marketing materials available to you, and just how simple it is to use. One of the things we really want to do with NPA Connects is ensure that the campaigns featured on the platform are as relevant and useful to pharmacies as possible. So we'd love to hear from you now in the live chat. What types of campaigns would you find most valuable? Are there any specific health awareness initiatives, seasonal promotions, or service-led campaigns you'd like to see more of on the NPA Connects platform?
Yes, for example, we already have campaigns supporting flu vaccinations, smoking cessation, and travel health clinic services. But if there are other areas where you'd like more marketing support, whether it is weight management, repeat prescriptions, or something else, this is a great opportunity to let us know, because this is a platform that's been built for you, and therefore we want the content on it to be suitable for what you need it to do. And of course, marketing is only part of what NPA Connects offers. A key element is that ensuring that everything on the platform is compliant and aligned with industry standards, which is why we work closely with the NPA team. To explore this further, I'd like to hand over to Simon, Director of Membership at the NPA. Simon has been kind enough to give us his time and wealth of experience in supporting the independent pharmacies. As you all know, he's going to talk about how NPA Connects and support, and he's going to talk about how NPA Connects will support pharmacies in marketing their services effectively. So over to you, Simon.
Thank you, Gary, and what a build-up, and welcome to everybody for attending this evening. I know that the numbers have jumped up whilst the demonstration was going on, so we will be making the recording available after the session for anybody. If you did miss the beginning of the session, I would urge you to go back in and have a look, because the platform looks fantastic, Gary and Lauren. We're incredibly proud of the partnership with Precision. We've worked alongside each other for a number of years now, and this platform really has come from us being asked by members about how we can help and support members be able to create multi-channel marketing through to the patients in their area, and that will become incredibly important as the delivery of service continues to grow. And we know that many of our members, particularly with expansion of private services, are wanting to find ways to be able to reach out and target patients for that. So being able to have a suite of resources, both physical and digital, that can then be completely aligned in the same styling, the same brand awareness for you and your pharmacy, through that ability to be able to tailor and personalize the assets, we think is incredibly powerful. So members have been asking us to be able to do this, and we've worked tirelessly, as Olivier said at the start, alongside Gary and the team at Precision, to be able to bring this platform to life. So this is built from the ground up. So thank you, Gary and team, for doing this. And it's available to all NPA members, and hopefully you will have seen how simple it is to be able to register for that. Secondly, it was really important for us to ensure that the platform was incredibly easy to use. And we think it is, and I'd urge everybody to be able to go on the platform and have a play around and see some assets that you might want to be able to create to be able to support your services in your pharmacy through to patients. And the last point I wanted to sort of talk about is, and both Gary and Lauren have referenced that, is being able to ensure that you can trust the assets that have been produced. So we've done all of that hard work for you, so you can just work on the personalization and think about how they can be executed within your pharmacy or your group of pharmacies. So that's in a nutshell why we've built it, and why we're really pleased to be able to bring this to market. And we know that members that are already doing this, whether that's hyperlocal marketing by doing targeted leaflet drops through to patients, creating bespoke POS or leaflets for inside the pharmacy, it does create that point of difference. So please do jump on the system and have a bit of a play. And as was said, this is about ensuring that we can create that level playing field, giving all of our members access to those services that larger pharmacy groups have through their marketing teams of tens of people. We're here to be able to support you and to be able to provide that back office function. So I think that's enough from me, Gary, I think. And hopefully that's given everybody through that demonstration a great overview. So thank you. Back to you, Gary.
Thank you, Simon. That's absolutely right. This has been an absolute partnership between Precision and the NPA. We couldn't really do this without it. And one of the things that we were tasked to do was to kind of have a look at the situation and how's the most effective way we can deliver solutions to pharmacies that take care of the fact that they're very, very busy people. I'm telling you this, you know this already, but also already have been working at the very heart of their community for decades. And so there's a number of assets that we wanted to kind of pull together that enabled us to make that work. So I'm going to share some slides with you. It's not as lovely as the demonstration Lauren gave, but it will kind of help guide us through what we're looking to do. So basically at the beginning of this, we wanted to make sure that all stakeholders were in a position to get involved with helping pharmacies become more effective at communicating within the community they operate within. And we can talk about what's happened in the last few years, but it's pretty sure that we are going to be moving into a slightly different scenario from this point on. And pharmacies in particular are going to look to be leaned on to deliver very, very crucial primary care services solutions. So NPA Connects was designed to help position pharmacy as the healthcare hub of the community, and also because they're going to be taking a lot more kind of the key issues around pharmacy first is going to be delivered by these guys. So I'm going to go through some slides with you. Bear with. So okay, the first thing we wanted to harness was the power of the 6,000. Now, what it is, there's 6,000 members across the UK, 6,000 plus members across the UK, and we wanted to find a way that we could kind of aggregate all of that kind of collective spend into one particular platform, but also the way that that could be used for every stakeholder who's interested in delivering healthcare services through independent pharmacy will have this kind of web service to enable them to get access to it. So this has been designed very much along the lines of how do we make it easy, how do we make it affordable, and how do we make it effective? And so that includes all stakeholders. So we kind of come up with this, what looks like a wiring diagram for a bungalow, but really we call it the hop, skip and jump approach. So we've got brands and organizations, pharma companies that have always wanted to use the power of independent pharmacies to deliver some of the messages they want to get across and support them in the most effective way. And to do that, and by creating a group of 6,000 pharmacists, we then have the biggest pharmacy group in the UK. So we wanted to harness that power to deliver real results for pharmacy. That actually enables us to reach 40 million consumers across the UK within about a half an hour walk time of every pharmacy, every independent pharmacy in the UK. We can get access to just over 40 million consumers. And then if we can take those 40 million consumers and segment them into kind of data sets that are most suitable for certain healthcare remedies, then we have a really powerful tool. And that's pretty much what we wanted to build. And so what does that mean in reality? So the joined up approach, it really is. It's about harnessing the 6,000 to deliver nationwide solutions, but delivered at a really hyper-local level, because really it's just about the people that live around you. But if you knit all that together and create that as a collective, then you have a really powerful tool. So we've got pharma companies, we've got private practice, we've got OTC brands, we've also got local authorities and who themselves are on a mission to change perception. And who's the best people to make that communication? It is the people that have been in that situation, in that community for decades, and in some cases centuries. So it's a case of how do we harness that relationship much more effectively? So we break the 40 million down into bite-sized chunks. And those bite-sized chunks are the people that live around your particular pharmacy or your group of pharmacies. We're also looking to find a way of linking this directly into wholesale as well. And so we find a kind of a funnel there for you to be able to, if you're not stocking a particular product, you can stock a product, and we make it easy for you. And the choice is yours. Nothing's going to be dictated to you. It's just going to be made available. And it's just a case of, if you wanted to buy into this particular solution, you can. The platform is free to use. So you don't have to pay a subscription, you don't have to pay any sort of aspect like that, but you do pay at the point of purchase. So we're also looking at ways that if we can raise any funds from pharma companies or private practice people who want to recruit pharmacists to kind of provide their services, then that money is actually taken through and put into your shopping baskets. So that money is there to make that communication as cheap as possible, if not free. And I just want to explain a bit about how that will work, and hopefully I'm not going too fast for you, but if I am, please say. So hyperlocal marketing, and hyperlocal is the latest off the line of marketing buzzwords, but in this case it's absolutely true. What we want to do is we just want to reach the people that were in your catchment area. And we want to reach people that you probably know very well already, but there could be swathes of people that you don't know. And what they probably don't know is all the services that you currently offer and all the services you can offer in the future. And so it's about building awareness. And the key question here, or the key attribute, is that you're local. People know you, they trust you. And that's a really important piece when trying to get a message across. So how do we do it? So we kind of, the pharmacy is at the center of everything. And then within a 5, 10 minute, 15 minute, 20 minute walk time, there's all different types of consumer, patients, constituents living within that kind of catchment area. So what we can do is we make that data available to you, and we make that data available to you in a segmented way. You can personalize each message. So it's very much coming from you, and it's coming from you on the products that you want to promote, or the services you want to promote, or the clinics you want to promote. All the things that you're looking to try to get the messages out to, we are helping you do that. The other aspect is we're publishing artwork that's personalized to your pharmacy, and we want to send it down the channels that are most relevant to that communication. So social media adverts we're creating, we're going to be adding the ability to do digital marketing as well as printed marketing. We're also getting to the point where we can do point of sale solutions for you. So, but all of this is going to evolve, and this is day one of that evolution. And also it's delivering a greater resonance. So the fact the message is coming from you means that people will buy into it much more easily. If it was coming from a kind of in a faceless national campaign, there's very, the return on that is very small. The fact the message is coming from you is just helps that process so much more. So build awareness, drive footfall, change perception from within your community. And the perception is more about, what do I go to my local community pharmacy for? I didn't realize that I could do this, is probably a common phrase that you hear once they understand the services you can offer. So changing that perception, and also changing the perception from being, I suppose, a healthcare retailer that some people may think of you as, into a healthcare provider, an advisor, as somebody who's going to be able to get them to the point where they get some sort of relief from the issues that they're having as quickly as possible. And I think that's the big question behind Pharmacy First as well. So while realizing the value of being part of a large group and the commercial value that provides. And so the one thing about being independent, it's very hard for people to kind of group you into a big fighting force, I suppose is the right way of saying it, without sounding a bit too much like Boris Johnson. But it's a case of, if you kind of work together in collaboration, you actually are benefiting from each other's activity. And if we were to go to some of the big pharma companies and say, look, we've got this wonderful product now, it's now a media channel that you can enable you to get to consumers through your pharmacy, then that becomes an exciting prospect for them, because they're going directly to consumer, but you are going to be the pivotal element in that process. So, and you can choose whether you want to or not. So it's there, but they're going to help you kind of fund that. And I've got some examples of what I mean by that. So pharma to pharmacy to patient. I wish the patient had an H in it, but it doesn't. But pharma to pharmacy to patient. So supporting independent pharmacy to improve healthcare outcomes within their community, which is kind of a key mantra of ours. So we are looking to work with, so for instance, this is our friendly pharmacy here in good old Bury St Edmunds called Crowsdales. Nick has got two pharmacies in the local area, but both, well, one of them certainly been here for over 100 years. And there are, so Pfizer, for instance, have an issue around promoting to people not taking COVID tests anymore. So people are starting to get a bit kind of blasé about taking a COVID test, especially the people who are within the particular cohort where catching COVID will still be very, very dangerous for them. And so we have seen, everybody has seen a spike in holiday admissions, hospital admissions on the back of people getting very ill with COVID. So what we can do is we can get to a point where the actual COVID test could be stored and distributed within pharmacy, and the antiviral drug that Pfizer are promoting, which we can't promote, could help those cohorts access that kind of relief from COVID symptoms. So this is the type of thing we can do. But if it's coming from your local pharmacy, then the message will get through, or cut through, and make people aware that they could be in trouble if they catch COVID. And we have the data sets to enable us to do that. So what that would mean is we can actually filter down onto profile data. For instance, their age group is 85 plus. It's nicer. I can bring in down the availability for free COVID testing to 70 in June, or 75. So we can do segmentation about people who have limited living, poor pensioners, elderly ailments, dangerous dependencies, respiratory risks, and perilous futures, which is quite harsh. But we can get to that data segmentation, which is not their healthcare data, which we can't use, but it is data that's been modeled on that particular community. So we can get to the people within your community who will be more than likely would suffer mostly from COVID. But also we can add business data in there as well. So we can add the care homes that are within that kind of catchment area too. So all of this is possible. All of this can be delivered, and all of this is if you want to do it or not. So that's the thing. Nothing's going to be kind of forced upon you if it ever could. So, but the other thing is that we're going to provide product that is really good quality. And so the product that you have, from posters to direct mail pieces to leaflets, are all going to be very good quality for which you can access. And then the product that you see, be it leaflets, be it posters, be it postcards, be it digital adverts, are going to be predominantly with your name all over it. So it's going to enable you to do this and get those communications out. For instance, on the QR code, what we could put in there is that is a unique QR code to the household you send it to. And that could link it to a booking system for one of your clinics, for instance, a consultancy process, and especially if you're using Chirac's solution, and so that we can create that wonderful digital loop. So a call to action gets you a booking, and then you get people making appointments to come and see you for various different ailments. So that's a key thing. And again, this is kind of some of the ideas we're coming up with, but we really will be testing and learning as we go through. Right. I think I kind of completely ripped our script up and delved straight into the PowerPoint.
So thank you, Gary. That does bring us to the final part of today's session, which is the live Q&A. So we'll welcome back Simon and Jared, who supported on the creation of NPA Connects. and also Olivier. So we'd love to hear from you. So whether you have a question about how NPA Connects works, want to share your thoughts on the platform from today's demo, or have any suggestions for future campaigns, now is the time to ask. There's no such thing as a bad question, so feel free to drop anything into the chat and we'll do our best to cover this as much as we can.
So thanks, Lauren. Thanks, Gary. There has been a question around the cost. What's the cost? So we know that access to the platform is free under your NPA membership. But obviously there are costs in marketing your services. Do you want to take us through maybe a couple of examples, whether that's live on the screen or whether you want to just say, we've run an example, if you market this service within 5 miles of your pharmacy and you want to do a leaflet drop, it'll cost X.
Yeah. So if I talk about this in principle, one of the key things we already hear, the one thing that made the NPA Precision a match made in heaven is that we send a lot of product from this site on a daily basis on behalf of large commercial businesses. So we've created a workflow that reduces the cost of, say, print production as part of our daily production down to a very small amount of money. So, for instance, you could send if you wanted to send 10 postcards, you could send 10 postcards with postage, printing, and data for about 58 pence. So that's with, we know the cost of a first class stamp now, or we should do. It's probably about 300. It's quite expensive. And so we're enabling that efficiency to happen. So as that number gets higher, so if you send 1,000 or 2,000 or 3,000, then we will reduce that cost even more because of the production efficiencies of that and the efficiencies of the postal cost. In addition, you can get things like social media squares. And so social media squares are social media adverts that you can put on your Facebook accounts. You could put those adverts on your local community groups. So this is a download. It's completely free. You download the artwork once you've created it. It's got all the key details in there about whatever type of clinic you want to run. And you can then share that across the various different social media groups that are relevant to your town and your community. And so, for instance, posters, if you want a poster, they start around about £1.06. Flyers, a 0.13p to 0.17p. I'm being fed some information here, as you can tell. And direct mail from 58 pence. So yeah, it's probably, you can't find it cheaper if you're going down those channels. What we then want to do, which is more complicated, believe it or not, is that we'd love to be able to do some more campaigns where we actually do Facebook advertising. So at the moment, you can load a campaign onto your Facebook and it will instantly ask you to boost it, which you can do. But just imagine if you can actually send an advert to the people that match the kind of the profile of the product that you're looking to market. So or the services you're looking to market. So for instance, if it's ear syringing, for instance, then that could be for men of a certain age, don't look too closely at me, who would be probably in desperate need to have their ear syringed. So we could group that into an age group that we could target within a 25-minute walk time of your pharmacy. The same goes for blood pressure checks. The same goes for blood tests. The same goes for all of these things that will be part of the private practice services that pharmacies could buy into in the future. And on top of that, we would want those kind of businesses that are working with you to subsidize those campaigns. And we want to take that money and put it into your shopping basket. So for instance, that 58p could come down to 38p because you're being supported by the people who are looking to push those services as part of your offering. So this is where all stakeholders can come together and help it make it work better for everybody. Sorry, does that answer your question, Olivier?
It does. There is a question or a comment really that has been made around the fact that social media, a message on Facebook costs nothing, right? So members are asking what is the benefit of NPA Connect compared to going and putting a post on your own social media channel for nothing. Do you want to take us through the advantages of NPA Connect?
Well, at the moment, your social media will have a certain amount of followers. and on your social media page, especially your business pages. So your business pages on Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn and those sort of guys will have a certain amount of followers. What we're looking to do is enable you to actually match, to actually do advertising to your location. So where your pharmacy is located, we could then say, we want to say it's Bury St Edmunds, I'll keep it close to home. So say it's Bury St Edmunds, I want to do Bury St Edmunds and only Bury St Edmunds. But actually, I don't want to do just that. I also want to send it to people of a certain age group. I want to send it to people within a subset of that particular postcode. And what we're looking to do next is match our profile data, which you've got access to now, to preference data and profile data that's on social media as well. And so we create that bridge. So if you want to run a campaign, you can say, I want to actually, instead of boosting it, we want to run a campaign that actually meets the type of people we want to recruit anyway. So it could be families with young children. It could be all sorts of different segmentations that we can ring fence and match to their social media pages online.
I think just to add to that as well, in terms of the social media, yes, people can share something on their social media now on their posts to any followers that they have, but they can download any of these social media assets from NPA Connects for no cost at all. And then that way, any creative would be obviously set up for them, so they wouldn't have to do that themselves, and it would be aligned with any other marketing. So if they wanted to also do a flyering campaign or some direct mail, that could be in the same designs and the same branding as the social media campaign that they might post on their socials. So then there's that recognition as well. So people have got that familiarity. Oh, actually, I saw that come through my letterbox as well. And it resonates more with you.
So excellent. So a yes/no answer. Creating digital content via NPA Connect is free to members.
Yes.
So the assets that are on there now currently, they can download that at no charge and then share that to their own
use them as they see wish. Okay. And I think that's an important element, because sometimes you might be in breach of copyrights of images and things like this. So as long as the NPA Connect offers some images that can be used by members, I think that's excellent. And you know, whilst we don't have many suggestions apart from the obvious weight loss, earwax, things like this coming through, I think as time goes on, will there be a function on the NPA Connect website for people to request a special digital marketing tool?
Yes, so we're going to add a section on there on the Contact Us page. So if people have got anything specific that they want to request that isn't on there, they can do that via the site. They can, of course, email us via the contact information we'll share shortly, and that is on NPA Connects. And we'll constantly be updating the content on there as well. So each month or each quarter, depending on what's coming up, we will be putting fresh content onto the site.
Thank you. So a slightly different question about, I suppose, GDPR. What happened when you start bombarding people that don't want to receive the messaging? Can you take us through that element? I mean, my wife's a lawyer. She'll probably tell me where's the small print here? Where's the catch? Can't be that good.
Yeah, sure. All of our data comes from, well, our base of our data comes from CACI, which are very similar to Experian. Their data is sourced from the electoral roll, which has an opt-out option from the electoral roll. And CACI are a global data business. This data has got a very secure, sound, GDPR compliant base. And what we're tending to do now is to save any kind of concern, we're tending not to use name data anymore, even though we have name data available and it's purely GDPR compliant. So we're tending not to use name data. So in many ways, we have data on the property rather than the individual. And also so we've got a very sound base for the data. We also use their Acorn profiling, and that enables us to kind of segment the data into a way that it's kind of suitable for certain campaigns over others. And on top of that, we're going to be introducing, it's not there at the moment, but we're going to be introducing their Acorn well-being data, which is very much aimed at healthcare providers. And this will be very much around the kind of the modeling of people who would be more susceptible, say, to diabetes or more susceptible to obesity based on the profile of that particular household and that group of individuals. So that data is going to be made available. The big difference with Connects is that it's really good data. It's from a very true source, but you can buy it in tiny amounts. And so we're buying a lot of data. Actually, we're buying a lot of data for everybody else to enable them to, everybody else outside of the NPA and NPA Connects. And we're passing that cost of that data on to everybody within NPA Connect. So we're buying it in bulk and we're selling it to you at an amazing rate, really. But it's really about making sure that the data is of solid and true, and also 100% GDPR compliant.
Perfect. And accurate, more importantly.
And accurate.
Thank you.
Yeah, exactly. The thing is, if it's not accurate, the campaigns don't work, and also it will create some issues around people. Why are you sending me something about I don't know, retirement homes? I'm 22. That type of thing. I wonder why they're sending me stuff about retirement homes, but maybe I'm a slightly different demographic.
We have a question here, and I suspect it's from someone who might have like a promotional screen within their pharmacy.
Yeah.
And it's whether the content that NPA Connect creates can then be material that is used on the TV screens.
Fabulous question, mainly because I've got a good answer for it. And so the answer is yes. And what we want to do is it's content. So we're publishing content, and that content can be published literally anywhere. So we want to get to a point where you can use that content to feed into your screens. And so the next stage of our development is working the most effective way of doing that. So it's delivered to you in the way that it needs for your screen. So we would want to work with there's one particular provider, I think, who's providing that service for you at the moment. So we'd work with those guys to make sure the content can be streamed to those digital screens. That's for sure, because it's a touch point within the pharmacy, and it's a very important one.
Perfect.
But also but just on that, we could also put completely unique QR codes on that particular advert. So if somebody sees it and they want to scan it and deal with it when they go home, or then that will be all about your particular pharmacy, which is really key. And that's the beauty of QR codes, in my view.
And just humor me, Gary. Is that creating content if it's not distributed? Is there a cost to it? What is it going to work? So that falls under creating content. I'm an NPA Connect. I'm an NPA member. I use NPA Connect. I'm creating content. I'm asking you to distribute it to a specific person. Therefore, there is no cost to it.
Spot on. That's I'd have taken about 5 minutes to answer that question, but you got it right. So if it's content that you're generating yourself, and you're not using it to use the services to advertise, so it has to go through a media channel, whether that is post, whether that is Facebook or digital display, then that you're not paying for the media. So it's an accessible thing. Create your artwork, use it wherever you wish.
Thank you. I realize we have a couple of hands up, but I just want to go through a couple more questions that have come on the chat first. And that is around, do the services that are provided cover the services that are provided by community pharmacies? So all the services are provided that NPA Connect covers, are all the services provided by community pharmacies. So is there any services that are outside of community pharmacies within the NPA Connect platform?
Do you understand that question?
I think there may be services that we do promote that particular pharmacies may not offer themselves, because I'm presuming each pharmacy is different, and there may be certain services
that way, or the other way around as well. I want to promote a service that's not there. What happens? Both ways.
Absolutely. That, let us know, and we can look to add content on there. We're also going to look to set up some templates shortly that are so people can just have more generic, so they can have, this is my pharmacy and this is the list of services that I promote.
Thank you. Perfect. We have a question around a competitive element. Say two NPA members within one town start using NPA Connect, using possibly the same population, the same catchment, or the same area. What sort of how is that being addressed within NPA Connect? And whilst I could probably hazard a guess as to the answer, I'd prefer hearing from you, really.
Right, that is tricky because it's very difficult to monitor what data sets people are building by way of who they're sending it to, and comparing that with a competitor pharmacy two or three streets away. What we are allowing, though, is a high level of customization that is personalizing the communication to that particular pharmacy, and it will be a real coincidence if they're actually promoting exactly the same thing in exactly the same way. But we do need to kind of work on ways that we can make sure that we are not kind of cannibalizing the communication as such by the same people sending the same stuff. And that's something we're going to have to try and work through and figure out as we go forward. So I haven't got a real definitive answer for that.
I'm glad you've answered that, because I would have answered it completely differently. And for the benefit of the audience, I do think that competition is good for services. It means everyone offers a better service. And you'll often, if you know me, hear me say that a good service is not necessarily a free service. And if one was decide to promote, I don't know, travel clinic, and the other pharmacy down the road also provide travel clinic, well, the patient will receive the message twice, but actually they've also got a choice of provider, and it does tend to mean that people do try harder. Same with opening hours. You'll typically find that if there's two pharmacies in a town, one will open longer. If there was only one, they'd probably go for the shorter opening hours. And that's the sort of thing that is likely to happen. But no, it's good if that's still in development. That's excellent, because obviously we don't want sort of members who are within one town to fall out with one another. And clearly one may decide to use it and the other one may decide to jump on a bandwagon when they see that the first one's doing very well. Another question is regarding the historical performance of the contents created. So do members get a percentage rate of responses fed back to them? So if they did a mail shot, an email, whatever that looks like, how do they know how successful it's been?
Yeah, so there's a couple of ways, really. What we try to encourage is that there's an element of bounce back. So if they're going to come in on the basic on the premise that they've been sent an advert, they want to bring that advert back into store. And so if they bring that advert back into store, the pharmacist will know that it was that particular campaign that generated that lead. But I did mention QR codes, and QR codes now are so unique. So every time you create, say if you do a flyer that's on your countertop and it's got your services in there, that QR code could take them onto much more detailed information about those services that could be sitting on a splash page somewhere. And that QR code can then be measured. And so every time it's scanned, the pharmacist will see that particular QR code has been scanned and that person has taken part in that information find. Or if it could be an offer, so if it could be I don't know, they could get 20% off this next time, or whatever that is, you can get that offer. So that's why generally we're seeing a far greater spike in localized communication on the back of being able to tailor the message to suit the particular audience, much greater than generic campaigning from an advertising perspective. And the beauty of doing it this way is that you don't have to order a lot of it to enable you to take part. So there's no minimum order quantity on the platform. You can literally order one if you wanted to, one postcard. And so there's no minimum order, except when there is it's pointless ordering less than 10, for instance, or less than 20. But there's no real minimum order on the platform. It's a way of really taking advantage of of marketing without having to kind of bet the house on it as such. It's not as going to be as expensive as you may think.
Now I've got another question, but I'm going to go back to the hands up. We did have a couple of hands up, and they have come down. I just want to give the opportunity of anyone. Oh, here we go. We have a hand up here by James. I don't know if James, you are able to unmute yourself.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
So you said this is only available to NPA members. Is that correct? Yeah. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we got you.
Yeah.
Yes. Sorry, James.
Yeah.
It is. You know, at the moment, it's an NPA member solution, but and again, I think that's a question for the NPA guys more than us, to be honest.
So are you going to keep it to only NPA members? What about people, NUMAC are you going to extend it to other IPA members or NUMAC members in the future, or is just strictly restricted to, is there any clause to restrict it to NPA members?
So I'm happy to answer that, Gary. So yes, James. So this is an NPA member benefit. So we've worked and invested a lot of time and effort working with Precision to be able to bring this together for members.
Yeah.
And you know, for us, it's really important that we're able to provide the services and solutions that our members have asked for. So yeah, this is unashamedly a unique benefit for NPA members.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. And we couldn't necessarily stop a company like a competitor, Newmark, to go and develop a similar product. But this particular NPA Connect product is for NPA members. So thank you for answering that. I had another question and I've forgotten what it was. So unless it comes back to me in 3 seconds, I think we will let people. It's been an hour and we said we'd probably be about an hour. So we've done very well. I really look forward to testing the platform. I think whilst there is a cost to marketing some element, I think it's worth a few quid to see what sort of return you get. And I would encourage the several dozen people that joined us tonight to have a go and see what that looks like. We're probably not going to get it right the first time, but if I was to challenge everyone that's here tonight to go away and think of maybe 2 or 3 services they want to promote and to have a go, you probably don't need to send a letter at exorbitant price. You could probably have it done quite cheaply, especially if you're already on social media channels. I do think that the fact that you have access to drill down data to the population, email address, telephone numbers, I think it's really good. So I'm going to give it a go. I hope other people's will. And then hopefully when we talk again in a very near future, we have you know, some great stories that we can hear and share. So I'm going to thank everyone on the call tonight. Gary, I'm going to give you the final word before we go home. Thank you, Simon and Jared, for joining us this evening. Gary, Lauren, one final word of wisdom for everyone before we let them go.
It's just thank everybody for taking the time today. If you've got any follow-up questions or anything that you didn't want to ask in front of everybody, feel free to follow that up with us after today's session. We'll be sending out a follow-up email with any key information from the session. Just thanks again for joining us, and we look forward to seeing how you use NPA Connects to support your pharmacy.
And just from my perspective, this is a platform that's been built for pharmacy. Whatever feedback we get, how we develop it, how it evolves is going to be really key for everybody taking part in that dialogue, really, because you know, there's a number of challenges ahead, and whatever we can do to use technology to enable those challenges to be met head on, we'll be delighted to help if we can.
Thank you. Someone asked if we could have your contact details, but I guess, Simon, we're going via the NPA for that.
Yeah, so part of that follow-up, we'll make sure that all the information is within that. And I would echo, give it a go. As you've heard, you know, there's no cost to creating assets and digital assets. Go ahead and see what you can create.
Thank you very much. Good night, everyone.
Thank
and
you.
we'll
Good
see you
night.
soon.
Bye-bye.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.